Hello and welcome to the third edition of The Hive. My name is Umi and I am your host. Okay, so if you missed the first two editions, I would say go to my channel now and go watch it. It's been an exciting time on The Hive since we started. Okay, The Hive is all about true life stories of single moms, their journey from being married to becoming single mothers. Okay, so there are real life stories of people who sometimes or who up until now are still hurting. So I would please keep the comments very polite and simple. Okay, all right, so today our topic for today is the 1 minute man. Yes, I know someone is there laughing just the way I'm laughing right now. Okay, so stay with me while I read the story. Okay, I'll be right back. The 1 minute man. I met my husband some few years ago through a friend in church. The truth is, I was desperately looking to settle because I was close to 40 and it felt like no man was ever going to approach me for a marriage proposal. In fact, I started attending this same church where I met him because I was seeking God's face for a spouse. We courted for a year and we were both workers in church. We had agreed to do we will wait till the altar thing before getting intimate. I would lie to you, it was a bit difficult for me because I was sexually active in my previous relationship. But not wanting to act like the bad girl, I decided to give it a try and tag along. Finally, we got married and I was happy to eat the matrimonial bed. Unfortunately, my first night with my husband was a nightmare. Not only was the whole thing less than 2 minutes, but there was also no foreplay. I kept my cool, thinking he was stressed because of the entire planning for the wedding, or maybe he was simply nervous. I had hopes that by the next day, things would get better. But I was only deceiving myself. I didn't even know how to complain to him about it since I had given him the impression that I am a good girl. Why do that? Okay, so 3 months later, my 1 minute man got me pregnant. Wahoo! I was even more frustrated when people would tease me that bro E was powerful. I wish they knew how much I suffered. Meanwhile, all through the pregnancy, he made no attempt to touch me. I would severally try to initiate sex but failed in my attempts. Who do I begin to complain to in my pregnant state of being sex starved? Fast forward to delivery, we had our baby and I was completely healed. I tried talking to him about the non-satisfaction I was getting from our intimacy as a couple, and he would constantly wave it off. At some point, he said I was too needy and more concerned about the things of the world. What are the things of the world? Okay, let's go. He would advise I check my spiritual life because I just might be sleeping. This made me mad. In this age and time, who thinks this way? These were my thoughts. All these times I had held on in hopes that after the delivery, I could teach him a thing or two. Eventually, after 2 years of marriage, I got tired and started helping myself out with my toys. But I also had to hide it well so that bro E won't see it. Unfortunately, I was unsuccessful. On a particular Sunday service, the pastor asked that I and my husband, brother E, see him after service. We got into his office. Lo and behold, my toys were displayed on the pastor's desk. And to make matters worse, the pastor's wife was in attendance. Okay, let's keep the laughter till the end, okay? At some point, I didn't care anymore. I had had enough of the whole drama, but I needed to hear the pastor's comments. I wasn't too surprised when the pastor told me I needed to seek God's face for repentance and return to God. I told him there was nothing wrong with my relationship with God and that I only searched for alternatives when he wasn't forthcoming. His response was the last straw. What did the pastor say? Okay, let me tell you. So the pastor said, how can I claim he isn't doing enough when I have a child to show for it? No, you tell me. Anyway, he told me my problem stems from my previous way of life since I had engaged in immoral activities before marriage. Apparently, he had told the pastor I wasn't a virgin when we got married. It didn't matter to him. He said it didn't matter to him at first, but seeing my actions this past years, he is convinced I am not fully repentant. I packed my toys in my bag and left the pastor's office. That was equally my last day in that church. Our fight further escalated into religious arguments. He was angry that I refused to go to church with him and said I was completely backsliding. After 1 year of constant fights with no improvements in the bedroom, I packed my things and left with my child. I heard that in the house fellowship, he uses our marriage as an example of how you marry the devil. Well, it's fine by me. This devil is currently in a serious relationship and doing well too. Now we can all laugh. Oh my goodness. The first time I read this, well, I had a talk with her. I mean, she explained all of these things, and the same way I am laughing, I was the same way I was laughing when she was saying it. My goodness, I love the way she does her narration. I mean, she did a narration when we were talking. It was all laughter, and she had a very good spirit. Maybe that's what's informing my reaction now that I'm reading it, because I know that she's so cool and down to earth. But I think she has so moved on from the whole thing that it's now funny to her, as against, you know, she being angry about the whole thing, because everything about this story is funny. What has God got to do with okay, let's be careful of religious matters, okay? Because some people will just come at me right now and say, what do you mean? All right. Okay, so let's bring it up. First, what went wrong? Okay, I think for the first thing I would say, and which she also admitted, was her desperation to, you know, just get hooked by all means. She was really desperate, you know. I think around here in this part of the world, Nigeria, where I come from, our parents, growing up, I feel like our parents made it look like marriage defined us as girls, as women. Like, you're tagged irresponsible when you, as a woman, are not in a relationship or a serious relationship, or when at a certain age you're not married, you begin to hear things like, Lagbaja's wife is, sorry, I use Lagbaja, that's a Yoruba word. You begin to hear that, oh, your friend is married, oh, my friend's daughter is getting married, oh, you're 30, why are you still single? You know, all of those things kind of just push us into thinking that when you get to a certain age in life and you're not married, then there's something wrong. There is nothing wrong with you if you're not married at 30 years. Yes, I know that most people desire to be married, to be in a relationship, but if it's not happening for you now, it's not all the time that it is spiritual. We like to over spiritualize things, and in the course of that, we end up messing things up for ourselves. I was talking to a friend of mine some time back. We had a girls get together kind of a thing, and she said something to me that really stood out for me, and which I really agree with. She said to me that she was ready for marriage rather, when she was at the age of 39. And this friend of mine, I think she's close to 45 now, I can't really remember, either she's 43 or 44, I can't remember. She's close to 45, but she's been married for over 10 years, yes, because I think her first one is about 14, if I'm not wrong. But she said to me that she was ready for marriage at the age of 39, because the things that she knew at age 39, she did not know them when she was getting married, and she probably would have made some better decisions. Okay, so I would say, I mean, there's no point feeling desperate or feeling the need to rush into any relationship if you're not in one presently. Okay, I know there's that need. Let's not just try to simplify it and make it look like it's so easy to I think it's just in our DNA. It's been there. God put it there from the beginning, and that's why it said it's not good for man to be alone, and then gave him a helpmate. Okay, but at the same time, when you look at the cost of rushing into a bad one, you realize, and you'd agree with me, that it's better to just be single and wait till the right one comes along. Okay, I think that was the first thing here. Then the second thing is the all unequal yokeness. You know, the Bible says don't be unequally yoked with an unbeliever. Okay, in this case, it's not an unbeliever. In this case, it's don't be unequally yoked with someone who is not aligned with you sexually. Guys, there's no overstressing this matter. In the issue of the bed, we all have to be in agreement on so many things, and we should talk about it. Well, maybe the conversation won't be sit down, let's talk about sex, okay? But maybe from the conversations that we would have that has to do with such topics, I can get to understand the kind of person he is, where he's coming from, what he's open to. And who says you can't talk about sex? For instance, in this story, I would want to assume that bro E is a virgin, meaning he's not been there before, he's not explored these things before. And you coming from the other angle, my baby girl, you've been there, you've seen that, you've done that, you know what you like, you know what you want. There's nothing wrong in sitting him down and saying to him that, yeah, I've done this, I've done this, I've done that, and I like it this way, I like it this way, I like it that way, I would like to have it that. Just know that if he tells you, sorry, it is missionary to the Lord, nothing more, then you know that this is what you're going to get when you get into the room. Okay? And then, I mean, even if he agrees to doing all of that, what happens to the shortness of the whole thing? But like somebody once said to me, it's not about the shortness, it's about all of the activities that happens before the shortness. Okay, so in this case, no foreplay, no activity, but that is straight to the point. Let's get to the point. Pa pa pa, sharp sharp we leave. I mean, after all, like my people will say, he had a baby to show for it. Oh my goodness! So let's take all the let's not joke about this. Really, you need to be in agreement or in alignment with whoever is going to be your partner. You cannot shy away from that. If not, you will live a miserable life. Okay? And then, bro E, why carry our toy and take it to church? That's so unfair. I cannot imagine that I get to church and then, in my holiness, you know the way we all try to act holy, and then we get to the front of the pastor, you open the door and you see the famous colors. Pink, purple, like I sabi this thing, I recognize this instrument. And they say, sit down, ma. What are you doing with these weapons of destruction? No. That should have been very embarrassing for the lady. I felt so sorry for her when she was telling me this. Okay, that's it. Really, I don't know what to say. Okay, I like the fact that when she was telling me the story, she took the whole of the blame. Like, in her desperation to get hooked, she got hooked to the wrong person who was not on the same page. There was nothing wrong with Bro E, let's be sincere. There was nothing wrong with Bro E. Bro E is just Bro E, because that is how Bro E behaves, and those are the things that Bro E believes in. They should have left Bro E to look for Sister S, Sis S, as the case may be. But they brought Bro E from this side and flipped him over to the other side. It was difficult for him to just, settle in. So I have nothing against Bro E in this case. Nothing except that Bro E, next time, just in case, Bro E, you are watching this program and you jam that kind of woman again, in case your church permits you to marry a second wife and it's not a sin, please ask questions so that you're not going to marry another devil. Okay? All right. Don't forget that if you have a story about your journey into single mom, you can send us a mail to debscorner@gmail.com. Send us a mail, debscorner@gmail.com. We'll be ready to read your story, and remember, you remain anonymous all through. We're not going to mention your name, who you are, where you stay. Nah, our lips are sealed on that. We just want to learn from your story, okay? And then somebody out there might just be in a similar situation. All right, so if you find yourself in a situation like this, what do you do? What do you think should be done? Could you please tell me in the comment section what you think whoever is going through a situation like this can do to navigate their journey in their marriage? Because I'm sure that there are some people who are struggling in that department too, in their homes and in their marriage. They're not getting enough satisfaction from their husband, and maybe their husband is also stereotyped and does not believe in certain things. Okay, it might not even be that there is not enough satisfaction. It could be that there are certain beliefs that you have or certain things that you want to introduce into the bed, but your husband is not in agreement with it. How do you manage this? How do you handle it? Especially when both of you are doing the whole bro system. How do you manage things like this? I'd like to hear from you guys. Could you please drop a comment for me in the comment section? And remember, keep it polite and simple, okay? My name is Wumi, and that's all that I have for you on the Hive today. Stay with me, hit the notification bell. We'll be back again on Tuesday with another edition of the Hive. I love you. Cheers.